All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. And here we go. Let's get on with the show. All right, let's come on over here to our solar report here. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and a happy leftover day, or happy hangover day for some. Okay, there we go. Let's scroll down a little bit. You can see here we are, November 24th, 2023, and this is our loop playing right here. Okay, you can see we had one come out the side here, another one, multiple CMEs again today. Yesterday we had four pretty good size ones, and there's one, two, three, like another four right there. So, okay, so you can see we've had this activity again, another day of this, and some of this energy is now coming towards the earth, and that's not good for the people who know this channel and understand what's going on here. You know that activity like this coming off the sun coming our way is not good. Okay, so here's today's little loop here, and then we'll go through this a little bit here. Let me just pull it down a little bit more here and get the opening frame. Back up a couple. There it is. Opening frame right there with the CME underway. You can see the instrument reacting to probably this little small one here. But as we start off and continue forward, you can see we have this first CME coming off over here. Object in the middle. Boom. Okay. So there goes your first CME. Then we have another one coming off the top up here. That's one and a third one. So a second and a third one here. Let me just show you that second one. See that one right there? That's the second one. Then the third one right next to it. You can see the dark core to it in here. Then another one. Little spits and sputters off of that still. And that was it. That was the end of the loop there. So let me go ahead and start that loop again. You can see that one ghostly one sneaking out over here. It didn't cause a CME, but you can see it sneaking out there. All right, so there's your activity for the 24th. This energy would arrive on, see that lower one right there? That's the one that might come in our direction. This one would be behind us probably, but that one right there would be kind of heading in our direction. So let's so this would translate into the 27th. Okay, this energy would arrive around the 27th. So keep that in the back of your head for the weather forecast when we get there. Actually, these next 3 days row 25, 26, and 27. We have inbound energy. Let's go back to let's see. Tomorrow will be the 25th, so that translates to the 22nd. Let's back up here and see what came off the sun on the 22nd. Okay, you see these two big blasts? That one right there. And this one right here. Okay, so one early in the day and then another pulse of energy later on in the day. Transferring into the 23rd, which would be the 25th, 26th transfer. Okay, so a lot of inbound energy right here coming our way. All right, and maybe we'll come back to the other thing later, but there's your inbound energy for tomorrow, the 25th. So we got a lot coming in at us. All right. Now, what I want to do is try to capture this before it goes away. Oh, it even strengthened. Let's go right to the auroras here. Okay, you see how it's strengthening here in this yellow band? This yellow band's starting to turn a little darker, almost red. And when we pull up the scale here, you see it's starting to turn orange in the core right there. That's beyond a medium absorption. All right, so there's mild, there's medium, and then red being the maximum. Okay, we're in the orange zone right now. It's starting to go from yellow to orange in there, and we got yellow, a yellow band in the southern one. Okay, so we're taking on some energy. We're absorbing some energy right now as we speak, and a pretty good event. All right. So let's back out of this, go up top, start where I usually start here. Zoom in on this for you people, my fine family. All right, there we go. There's your X-ray flux for today. Let me get the little finger out the way. Here's our box for today. We're already a little bit into the next day here. And you can see here's our event right here. Not much of a C-class flare, but you see how low it was in the first place, all right? So we have this double blast right there, some other disruptions before it, and then right at the end of the day, we have this slow CME that transfers over into the next day, all right? In fact, let's see if we can take a sneak peek at this. Yep, there it is, the 25th. Let me just refresh that real quick so we get the latest on the 25th. And, ooh, pretty quiet. And that's only 14 frames. That's only 3 hours into the 25th. Okay, so looks pretty quiet right there. That's good. But when we go back to this instrument, you can see we had that event and now it's gone down and now it's quiet. Okay, so far, after this latest round, is quieting down, but we got all this energy to the left here, all these events here. Not every single one is earthbound, but there's like 3 of them now that are earthbound. So we're going to be taking it on the chin and absorbing a lot of energy. We all know what that means. It translates down to the core. Swells, we're going to see earthquakes and volcanoes coming back to life. Those people in Iceland that went in there, they should grab their stuff and get out of there because the earthquake activity in Iceland is starting to pick up again, and that magma is starting to swell underneath again. All right. Our M flare potential 60%, C class flare 99, of course, 10% on an X flare. It's lowering down now, so that might drop here pretty soon. We'll come down to this. All right. These are all our sunspots right now. We got quite a bit of them, quite a few. Beta, gamma, delta. Beta, gamma, delta. These 2 regions right here are dangerous, okay? This one as well. It hasn't gone delta in there yet, but the moment it does, we are going to have 3 of these bad boys that are all rotating into Earth direction, okay? Let me just pull back a little bit there. All right, now I want to cover the KP index here and just kind of pull this up for you guys real quick. You saw, here was our last little pulse of energy that we took on, all right? And then it died down, and now it's starting to pick back up with this new bound energy, on the way in these next few days. Expect to see some KP 4 to 5 events and some geomagnetic storms, okay? Just saying, you can already see a geomagnetic storm underway right now, all right? It just hasn't registered on the KP yet. Here's all the sunspots really quick to kind of worry about. This region down below here, this 3500 region, this is a dangerous one because it's below the southern, it's south of the equator sun, okay? The Earth's position as opposed to the sun. We're not directly on the equator of the sun. We're a little south of the equatorial plane of the sun. In this region, when this thing turns around, this is the 3500 that is beta gamma delta. Okay, we got to watch that sucker closely and do a lot of praying. Okay, let's pray that sucker calms down. Let's come over here to tracker, open up the tracker, and we have an inbound CME towards the Earth. Well, this is a different one than I saw earlier today. So they've updated this with the latest third inbound CME right there. Come on, hurry up and finish up there, Turkey. All right, there it goes. All right, I saw one earlier that had a much bigger, broader field that was coming at us. So that's not it. This is a newer, updated model of this of another CME. Okay, so it looks like we're about to take 3 of them, back to back to back on the chin. So just hope the Earth can handle it, and everybody get ready to rock and roll, because this is going to produce earthquake activity and volcanic activity on the rise again. Okay, 4 coronal mass ejections were observed leaving the sun on Thursday. The first, a partial halo CME, was the result of an eruptive event in the southern hemisphere late on the 22nd. The majority of plasma appears to be heading south of the Earth line. However, a weak glancing blow may be possible on October 26th. An impressive pair of eruptive events, CME 2 and 4, were seen leaving the east limb. Okay, so there's your events that they're talking about. The only one that they're really showing that's a little lower is this one right here, and I showed you we had another lower event coming at us. So they're not taking into consideration this other one, I don't think. All right, but the most important thing on this whole page right here is this aurora right now, because it's gone into the yellow zone and it's starting to turn orange here. Well, yeah, you can see a little bit. Starting to turn orange here in the center, all right? That's going to be, a decent geomagnetic event. Just out of... So let's see what they're predicting as far as geomagnetic event. Come on now. Sorry about the update there. Nothing. See, the 24th, G0, G0. There's going to be probably here the 25th is going to be G2. I would say G2 to G3 when that double whammy hits us. Okay, we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Okay, but you saw the images that were coming off the bottom of the sun here on the 22nd. That's what's due to hit on the 25th. Watch this zone right here. One, that's a big one. And then the secondary one late in the day, that one. Okay, so there's a gap in between them. I was watching another report saying these could stack up, and the second one, if it catches up with the first one, this second one right here, if that one catches up with the first one, they could combine and combine in density is what we're worried about. If those two waves combine together, we're going to have a more dense impact with a lot more particles. Okay, and a higher KP. So if that doesn't happen and we do take a double shot, the first one could be, if that gap is just right, it could lower the shields just in time for the second one to hit us. So let's pray that event doesn't happen either. In the meantime, let's come on over here real quick. Now these guys are talking about, real quick here, pause pop this just a tad bit bigger so you guys can see it. All right. A minor G1 class geomagnetic storms are possible late on the 25th through the 26th, when the two CMEs might graze the Earth's magnetic field. So here they're agreeing with me. Late on the I say the 25th, and then late on the 25th going into the 26th, when the two CMEs might graze Earth's magnetic field. Both were hurled into space by magnetic filaments erupting from the sun earlier this week. This low confidence forecast have left the multiple overlapping CMEs have left the sun in recent days, making it difficult to unravel their trajectories. So they're saying it's difficult to unravel their trajectories. Well, to me, I've been watching this for a while. Those both look like they're coming at us. And there are other experts out there talking about they could combine together right as they approach Earth. All right. Now over to our Schumann, and you can see the Schumann reacting, right? We just took on some energy, right? And it takes about 4 hours for it to absorb, 4 to 6. It's not a set time frame. I just noticed it used to be half a day, and then it started doing it sooner and sooner, and then it dropped to 6 hours, and now it looks like within about 4 hours of impact, our core and shell already start to react and start screeching and squealing here. Excuse me. All right, you can see we came out of this scraping event in the last couple of days there. Quick little pops. Here we were going along strong. We had a little dip right here. You can see the shadowing kind of going down this way. There was a little weakness right in there. Not too bad though. But here we go with our core and our shell starting to grind and starting to scrape already, all right? Creating this first event. When this next wave hits us, whenever it hits us here late the 25th, whenever this next inbound energy is going to create a couple more spikes on this, probably some bigger ones, more intense, probably a little longer in duration. And if we get 2 impacts, you'll probably see an initial impact, something like this, and then the second one a lot stronger because the core shell is already grinding, and then we get more impulse making it grind even harder. Okay, so right now we are currently going through an event, and at the same time, all right, this is energy that was absorbed back here, all right. We are still currently, whoops, I want to pull this over, going through the event over here on the absorbing right now. All right, so I expect this event, it seems to have tapered off here at the end, but when it finishes, we're going to see another 1 to 2 events. If those waves come in and combine at once, we could see a big screeching event on this. Okay, so there's your Schumann for today, or for the moment right now. Okay, and say we took on started the screeching like this, and then it stops. The field recovers for a minute, but then has a lull. You see these lulls after it recovers. It takes a little breather right there. If we took the impact during a breather, that would be not good. Okay, so just be aware of what's going on. If you guys are flying and stuff, it's not good to be up at high altitudes when these events are going. And say if we did have a pretty brutal impact and the core and the shell locked up and the magnetic field went down, they would have to yank all the flights out of the air like they did last time. Remember last time when they yanked all the flights out of the air? Yeah, that's when this whole screen went black or really dark. All right, and we gotta be aware that kind of event could possibly happen with this 1, 2, 3 shot of energy coming in. All right, this energy coming in is not good. It's not good news. All right, it's going to cause volcanic events, more fissures, more more earthquakes. In fact, we need to get over to that earthquake report here pretty soon. Real quick, I want to come over here and just show you how our polar vortex has split right there like an omega sign, kind of, all right? Right over the United States. So it's really mild. The polar vortex is, look how it's being peeled away over here. See how a lot of the energy is being diverted away from the United States and being shot back at China. This is a crazy formation we got going here. And it happens to put the weak field, the weak side of the polar vortex over the United States, keeping our weather pretty mild and nice, while the rest of the other side of the world is getting raped. I mean, this weather that's coming in, that I'm seeing coming in from these regions is pretty scary. I bet you these people, that are getting hit by these disasters, it's probably the end of the world for them. It's the end of their world. Their life will never be the same. Their towns wiped away, houses, all kinds of landslides and crazy stuff been going on. So, another thing I was pointing out last night, look how low this vortex, all right, this is the feeder to it, but it's still, look at it, it's still part of the polar vortex down to Africa, all right? You see this intense part coming at Scotland, Ireland, Great Britain, hitting Norway, this whole upper coast up here. Let me pull that down a little bit. All right, so this region's going to get hit. This feeder from the northern jet or whatever, this split, combines with this feeder coming off this warmer tropical air off of the Gulf Coast here, the Gulf Stream. See how the Gulf Stream air is coming across, going over the African desert right here a little bit. That warm, hot, moist air combining with this cold stuff right here is making life very miserable around that part of the world. And then look how, as it gets to us, it just peels away. It's almost like there's some kind of barrier here, not a barrier, but something right here is just taking all that energy and peeling it away so it doesn't hit the United States. See that? Real quick over to our upper jet. It is just so gnarly and all over the place, but that's because we're in transition season right now, okay? Whoops. Take that down. What I really kind of wanted to show you is over America here. All right, you can see we have cold air coming down out of Canada into the the Northwest up here. We also have this little bubble that's driving air down into this hot moisture water that's coming over the Baja Peninsula, and it's mixing this cooler air with this moist air over Texas in the middle of the country here. Now this setup has been shifting so rapidly now that it's almost not even possible to tell you the forecast from this either now, because this flow pattern will shift so quickly and be out of this area before the weather can enter and start affecting it. It's being really weird. So right now we're in transition. All these jet streams are just going to be all over the place for a little while until we get a little more deeper into the season, until we get into winter. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's get over these earthquakes now, because we've had this event any day now. USGS. Oh, maybe I'll just try to reload it then. All right, hang on while it reloads real quick. Anyways, we've had this 6.9 over in that area we were talking about the other night. Really, why is this not pulling up? For a second here, why is this not pulling up? Alright. And let's come back and look at this for a second while that's still loading. We can take a peek at our sulfur dioxide here. That is odd because I had that all set up. Apparently, Lord doesn't want me reporting on the earthquake quite yet. Maybe there's something coming. Yeah, usually when something like that happens, something happens, and then we have something to report on. Okay, here you can see the pressure coming back is making this side of the country a little darker, but it is relieved pressure on this side. This side has now kind of cleared up. We were seeing, a lot of splotchiness over here on this side of the country. It has let up right now. This side seems to be darkening a little bit. All right. Don't ask me why. It's just a pressure shift. Magma shifting underneath creates areas and low pressure areas underneath the crust. Oops, how do I get rid of that? There we go. So let's take a look over here. They're pretty dark purple. There's a dark purple spot right there. I wonder why that did not load up. And it won't X out either. So what's the deal? Huh. Alright, there we go. Now it's moving. Alright, so there's China still going. What I wanted to look at here was down here at Java. Alright. And we got our little plume going off right here still, so I expect to see this whole area darken in and get darker here soon. All these little patches that are gonna darken up and fill in. Energy from underneath makes it up to the bottom side of the crust. Wow, USGS won't let me X out and it won't load up. Interesting. Well, you guys hacking my computer too? Anyways, spot down here at South Africa, we still have this whole ridge line running the length of the South America here. This is all sulfur dioxide coming out of the ground because of the magma underneath pushing up under the underside of the crust. Our fulcrum point here, where a lot of quakes go off, happens to be a concentration spot right here too. It's a weak spot right there. So you can see right here at the fulcrum point, just right next to it, is our most intense spot right there. Wow. I thought I felt my bed just shake right now, like we just had an earthquake. Why is this not Xing out? That is the oddest stuff. Well, let's see if we can open up another page and get the USGS going. Alright, just bear with me here. I'm going to try to get another USGS pulled up here. Bingo. Come on, Google. There we go. No, I don't want to add. I want the map. Ads even on, it's not even YouTube. They're sticking ads in there. Alright, so, it's not pulling up here either. Well, I'll be, because we had a really important earthquake report to cover tonight. And the regions that we were talking about is where we had our activity. So what we'll just do is we'll use this as our map. Let's come on over to our region that just had the earthquake. So it's, oh, you know what? I wonder if I can do different texture. It's right, where's our region? Right here. We had those two little underwater ridges that ran right here and another one inside, and there was those deep quakes happening in that trench area. That's where our big quake happened today. And ooh, there we go. Let me get the texture, terrain, close, open it up a little bit, and let's go do our earthquake report. All right, let's just go right to our main event right here. All right, back this up, just lighten it. You guys see it all? First of all, let's back out. Here's the two ridges that I was talking about, all right? And this is where I called for 6 yesterday. 6 energy could possibly be released at this event site because this was a weak area that had a quake swarm. That's why I called for this. It was all empty and needed filling in. The fulcrum points as well as this active region that was the weak area over here. So here it is. Here's our quake swarm. We're going to go dive into this, all right? I'm sure you guys have already heard about this, but we're going to take a little deeper dive into this, all right? Hopefully you guys enjoy this. And I want to get the lighting just a little bit better. All right, let's go to our big one first, okay? So it's a 6.9 at a depth of 16, all right? It's not at 10. It's a little bit further down. It's still a shallow quake, just a tad bit deeper than a regular surface shallow quake, all right? 16 kilometers. This 6.9, you come over here. Everybody else is saying 6.9 as well. I said we could see a possible 7. Well, there's your 7 right there, okay? That's dang close, all right? This was tsunami advisory. Everybody freaked out because it showed a big spike and set off a bunch of buoys. I just want to see. Yeah, see, this one's reporting 6.9 as well. So we'll just stick with 6.9. All right, that's dang close to 7, what I was kind of. And even maybe possible 7, so that's right in that range. All right, so I'm not trying to be a told you so. I'm just pointing out, there it is. That's what we were anticipating, and it happened. 5.1, these are the shallow aftershocks. It's at a depth of 10. 5.1, let's go way over here real quick out of the range. 4.9, back into this area. 5.2, 4.7, 5.1, 5.2, multiple 5s here. Okay, slouch. There's a lot of 5s here too. Let's go to this one, 5.3. Up to this one, 5.0. That's a 5.2 there, and a 5.1 there. So we got, that's what makes me think this is maybe more of a 7. 6.9, hey, 7, right around there, because all the aftershocks are within the 5 range, and there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 aftershocks in 5 or more magnitude, 5 plus magnitude, okay? These other ones, 4.8, that's no slouch. 4.9, that's almost a 5. These are both almost 5s. It's all that really high 4 to 5 range. 4.9 up there. What was this one? What's this one? 4.7. Okay. Then, after we've seen all these little quakes and everything here, I like to go topographical and take a peek at what's going on in this region. You see this quake right here and this quake right here. In between, there is an atoll, the rim of an underwater volcano. Do you see it now? There is our culprit, right there. As we back out, whoops. I'm trying to get this lighting right on that screen. You guys gotta tell me sometimes, hey, we can't see it. Alright, that's better. Alright, I need to pay attention to you guys a little more too. Alright, as we back out here, hopefully this is capturing the shadows. If this is the top, well, here's the flank, or the bottom. These are the flanks of this volcano, underwater volcano. It's reached the surface, but it's pretty good size, right? You can almost make out the base right here. And here's all our activity just off the flanks and right around this underwater volcano. This puppy is about to burst. And if we got this new inbound energy and we get 3 waves on the chin, boom, 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 and we get a huge swelling of magma, this might be our new Hunga Tunga Pai, big eruption right here. That's what all this activity right here is indicating. If we go just south of this, there's another volcano right here, all right? But as we pull back, you can kind of see its little footing, all right? And it's not within the range of this one. It's definitely in the range of that one. Now, let me pull back a little bit. I want you guys to see this underwater volcanic chain going up there, all right? If you look, it's in between these two ridges that we report on. All right, here's the plate boundary with this big ridge right here. Here's the secondary ridge, and there was a compression event in the middle that dipped down and came up. That's your weak area, and that's where we have this old line of volcanoes that grew in that area. All right, we had a new... This was a weak area in the crust, and we had underwater volcanic activity over the course of time that that built this volcanic ridge right through there. All right, there we go. Sorry, I zoom out and stuff. I'm trying to get the right perspective. All right, so you can see that whole ridge line. And when we come along this ridge line, we look at the development of some of these underwater volcanoes. This one's a little pimple. You can barely make it out. That one's a tad bit bigger. All right, you can see it's right here. There's 3, 4, another one. Some of this one finally got to the surface. So the first one out of that chain to get to the surface is this one right here. And in this, you can't tell in that picture. That's an old picture. Then as we come down this chain, none of these other ones have made it to the surface yet, except this is our next one in the line. All right, and this is the most dominant one of this whole chain. That one and this one have really successfully penetrated the surface and become above sea volcanoes and islands now. That's what I'm trying to say. Here's a well-established one too, and look at what we have here. Look at what we have here. This well-established volcano has a bigger footing. And what's at the flank of it, the base of it? A 5.0 down at 208. I'm telling you, look at this. This 208, that's not super deep. That's magma just right underneath the foot of this volcano right here. This one's coming to life as well. See the rest of these in this chain? Don't be surprised if we start to see more activity on some of these others, or an event right here. Okay, now as we look at this is relieving a lot of pressure at the same time. So these larger quakes like this relieve a lot of stress. They create a lot of other aftershocks that relieve more stress. But you can see that we have a quake swarm event happening again at this area, right at the base of this volcano right here. Okay, research, see what volcano this is, and we'll come back to you with that. But a little warning, we're going to see possible more activity in this area. Right now it looks like we have a little lull in the action, because I don't see anything red on there. So let's come back to the beginning spot and start our earthquake report all over again. All right, no deep quake in the last 24 hours to show for right there. We have here a 4.9 at a depth of 10. That's our typical 5 energy coming into the system. So something from probably yesterday has crept up to the surface, entered the system at the surface, and is now starting to travel up the system, dumping off 4.9 right there. So 5, high 4 to 5 energy. We come up here. A 4.9 again at a depth of 50. All right. This one right here is a 5.1 at a depth of 147. I need to see. Yep, that's on the land. All right, so that's a land quake down at 147. And this is the island I was talking about yesterday that's been receiving all the 5 magnitude earthquakes. And what do we have? Our daily 5.1. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 on this island. Let's come on over here. This one, 4.6 at a depth of 48, and a 4.7 at a depth of 10. So that, mid-range 4 to high, a little higher to 5, right there. Coming up into here, 4.4 at a depth of 57. Still, maybe 4.5 at the surface. All right, now, then we get up to our event. This seems to have relieved a lot of pressure because there's nothing else really going on. It's been a while since we've had a quake off of this area up here off the Kamchatka Peninsula too. Okay? So, if this continues to relieve pressure, which it might, and it's a decent region for that. I mean, there's not a lot of population out here. If it did create a tsunami, though, this is right out in the open where it's going to go in every direction from here. If it were hidden in a cove in one of these, island archipelagos here, it could, the wave would bounce around and not disperse so far. Okay, but they did freak out that there might be a tsunami here. If this goes off, it could cause a tsunami. So we got to watch this closely. Just in the last couple hours when I was watching, there was a new current red dot popping up all the time, and now it's gone into a lull. Okay, so we're in a lull right now of activity in this region. All right, so it's crept up through here. We have this leak in the garden hose, big leak in the garden hose, and a lot of energy, a lot of water or whatever, pretend like, is leaking out of it. So the pressure trying to make it up through here is being relieved here. Also, this movement can also put pressure on the plates that are pushing against each other to move. All right, so even though this is relieving pressure, it causes pressure at other points. So that 6 potential is still out there, all right? 7 now. All right? I'm calling for 7 because that's a 6.9. Now, if we come over to this side, you see how open and naked this part is. It is primed for that energy. Okay? And as you see these creeping over 4.7, that's 5, almost 5 magnitude energy coming in, plus this pushing downward this way as well. We could see a significant quake off of Sumatra right here, a 6 or possibly 7 in this region, okay? I'm not going to predict a certain point. Activity right in that little pocket right there, okay? And a significant 6 off the coast in this little ridge right here. So if we don't see some mid-range 5 come through here and relieve that energy, pop off with something bigger, all right? We haven't had a lot of stuff going off here. It's been transferring up here to this region right here where we had the inland quake. This could be another potential site for a quake. When this energy comes up through here, this 6 to 7 potential energy comes up through this region. If it doesn't slip and lock, and this is locked up, it'll set off something here. Or remember, we had this jammed up, but we did see a quake further out. That's a new potential spot. The other spots to look for, this weak spot here in Nepal where we saw the other quake swarm, and now just the other day, this little pocket right here that set off a quake. All right, so these are all these new spots that are popping up are all potential sites for this new energy coming in. Okay, and look at this. This is all quiet, all naked through this whole zone. When this energy finally kind of makes its way through the system and gets over there, you're looking at potential 5 to 6 energy, setting off quakes in this region. Also, with our swelling of the core, the heating of the magma, pushing up underneath. Watch out for the volcanoes in Italy. Volcano on the face of the planet. I might as well just say that. These ones in Italy will probably go off. This one in Iceland will probably become active. A lull in the activity, but with this new energy we're absorbing, they are already starting to detect earthquakes up here. This one wasn't showing it. I want 1 day all magnitude right there. Yeah, there's several small tremors here on the peninsula already, and this isn't showing it, but there's been tremors since the lull in activity, and this just isn't showing it. But you'll see. So watch out for Iceland. Get ready, people there, to evacuate again. Here's some red dots. Activities over here in America. Here in America. The 2.2 in Oklahoma. 2.2 at a depth of 2.2. We know what's going on there. 3.4 at a depth of 8.5 in Kansas. What's going on in Kansas here, Toto? Oh my goodness. We got us an earthquake in the field, folks. 3.4 here in Kansas. Okay. That's that energy going along the... what's this one? Did we do that one? Yeah, that's the one we just did. What was this? The other one. 1.9. So these are all like smaller little microquakes because we got set on all quakes. Let me just real quick reset this again. There we go. So, get this out of the way. Just real quick while we're here, we do have some activity off the coast of California here. Not much, but right here is a 2.8 at a depth of 10. Just on the other side of the plate right there is a 2.5. And then inland here, in a straight line, 2.6 at a depth of 14. So this is a little bit of energy that's made it around the corner here, crept down, and being released right here. That's good. It's okay. Small releases like this are good. They prevent one big snap. All right. There's a 2.5 out there in Idaho. All right. Yeah. Just a little. Ooh, what's going on here? We have another quake swarm right here, folks. Starting off with a 4.5 at a depth of 12, 3.2 at a depth of 3, a 3.6, 2.8, 3.3, and a 3.4. Not quite a quake swarm, but a quake gathering. It looks like it's kind of creeping up the line towards this underwater seamount right here. See this thing growing right on the plate boundary line, this volcanic underwater seamount right there. So there might be something creeping up towards that. I think that's about it. But really, watch out. This area is locked and loaded. We've already seen some decent-sized quakes go off in this area in the last few days. All right? And now we have this concentrated quake swarm, this pocket right here, the biggest being the 6.9. All right? We could see another big quake out of there with this new inbound energy. Also, when the energy that we take in gets absorbed and comes to the surface, that increases the magnitude of the quakes. All right. So depending on the size of the blast that we're taking, oh dear Lord. Do you guys see what I'm saying? What happened here when I switch back? We're in the red now, folks. You see this? It's not good. Trying to give it the true color that it deserves on my video here, so I don't deceive you guys. That's it right there. Oh boy. Okay, so right now we're having a very strong absorption event. All right, when this gets down to the core and the core and the shell start grinding like this, all right, we're gonna have it transfers up into the magma. The magma heats up, it boils, it travels, it expands. When it expands through the lava tubes, it goes up through perforations in the crust to stretch the skin of the earth, like the crust of the earth, stretch it like skin and cause it to crack. So watch out for fissures. More of these fissures opening up, like say in Iceland, with steam coming out of them, possible fire. All right, you might be seeing new vents open up in new places too. So any kind of volcanic feature could be coming to life. And now that we have this red, we're going to have to talk seriously about this event. Now is going to continue. All right, this is probably going to get maybe even stronger, and if it doesn't snap with a big earthquake, we'll see a volcanic eruption out of this thing. Other volcanoes, let's pull up a volcano map. It's time to. Bear with me, folks. We just got a detour here. Dang it, I wish I hadn't seen that. Everybody, I can hear people praying already. Good job. Come on, map. Don't give me problems tonight. We really need your cooperation, like right now. All right, here we go. These volcanoes over here, these yellow ones that are still not inactive. Let's see how they're minor activity. Here, let me show you here. Red is interruption phase. Yellow is minor activity. So the yellow ones are the next to go active. So watch these two out here. In fact, this one right here, let me twist this a little bit. This one right here, where it's showing, Shishaldin? Yeah, Shishaldin volcano is right where this little earthquake line was heading towards, and that underwater seamount. So watch out for this one to go active. All right, you might see something puffing out of there. Any one of these red ones, any one of these, you're going to see activity start belching out of them, all right? Because they're already active. They already have an open vent to the atmosphere, to the surface. So watch like Fuego go off. Watch Stromboli, Etna, any one of these. I mean, I could name them all off because of this right here. Because of this. Boom. I was hoping it was going to fade. Usually at night, there'll be a little yellow band like this, and by the time I go live, it's faded and it's green. Started this show, this has turned from yellow to, had a little orange in the middle. Now it's red. Okay, so we are currently taking one on the chin as we speak. It's going to translate into more earthquake activity, even widespread earthquake activity, even in diverse places. Okay, alert just went out right now. I'm putting an alert out for the entire Western Pacific here for a large magnitude quake. Yeah, worry when it turns purple. Well, I don't think I love you, Drop. You were so awesome, dude. I love that comment. Worry when it turns purple. No, this is already very, very deep concerning because it's red. That's the maximum. This doesn't have a purple bud, but if it did turn purple, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. So, but right here, this is a very serious situation because we have still yet to take our energy that's on its way. This isn't even part of what I was reporting on yet. We're not even supposed to be getting hit quite yet. Well, it is technically now the 25th. Yes, it can turn purple. Well, maybe it can. Let's just pray it doesn't do that. Okay, Drop. Let's not go there, but we put it out there. We've got to be careful. So, all right. I love you, bud. Anyways, let's get back to seriousness here. Okay, I'm not trying to be an alarmist or cry wolf or whatever. You guys understand how this works. Okay, it's vital that you understand how this works. So when you see readings like this, you will know to how to react. Okay, brace for impact. We're gonna see residual effects from this pretty soon here via earthquakes, volcanoes going off. All right, wild weather too. All right, this is going to take the weather and intensify it. All right, there's a new updated one and it's stretching even more. So yeah, this new hit that we're taking as we're currently speaking, it's not on the KP yet. So, all right, everybody, brace for impact because we got earthquakes on the way here. So back to our earthquake report. This whole naked region, I would watch out for Japan now. The big one that they had off the coast, we have potential for 7, maybe 8 now. We just watched, oh my God, now that I think about it, we just watched it step up from 4s to 5s to 6s to 7s. Watch out. I bet you we see 8 now, especially with this turning red now. If it had stayed yellow, I wouldn't say something like that, okay? But the seriousness just went up when this thing turned red. You know what? We need to take a look at the bottom. Oh, the bottom it's still yellow, but you can see it's starting to get a little orange tint to it here in the middle. All right, so we're taking an absorption event right now. Surprise! Let me check this little guy up here. This thing should. Now, this thing needs to be updated. This is the one that you're talking about, Matt, turn purple. No, this is red. But anyways, when this event really starts to flare up, I expect to see red probably down at the bottom. I've seen this instrument with a big red dot in the middle, and then red here at the pole, and red here at the upper pole. So we might be seeing this instrument change here in the very, very near. And the G0 for tomorrow, I bet you we are going to have a G1 to G2 already here pretty soon. Just by the looks of that thing turning red right now. So pretty soon we're going to be seeing results on these instruments, and we're going to be seeing results in the weather, and we're going to be seeing results in the ground. Where is that weather forecast thing? Why did it not pop up? All right, let me get rid of the volcano map here, and then we'll put on the forecast model. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. Yeah, we're going a little extra hours tonight because of that earthquake report and that new energy coming in. That I wasn't expecting quite yet. I knew it was coming the 25th, but not this early. Anyways, it could have traveled faster than we thought, anyways, here we go. This is opening frame here. Current conditions right now, November 24th. Your travel holiday. Still snow here in the Rockies, out here in Nebraska now, and Kansas a little bit. Through the nighttime, it goes down into New Mexico, a little bit into Texas, still in Nebraska. Then it kind of combines together a little bit over the panhandle of Oklahoma, Nebraska here, moving out of the Rockies by the noon of the 25th. They're kind of clearing by the end of convection here, so travel can get back to normal here. Okay, any kind of stopovers here in Denver, that's like a hub for a lot of flights. So there's your travel right there. Then as this goes into the nighttime, it combines with this moisture here. You see there's a small icing chance right there, and in the night there's another small icing chance. They merge together. You see this winding up. It's grabbing this and turning it almost into a big giant comma. The tail is picking up moisture down here, sending severe weather into northern Florida, southern Georgia right there by the noontime of the 26th. We have inbound energy coming in, and when we have convection, that's when this energy helps that convection. So from this frame right here, from the end of convection, it'll probably be a little more yellow. All right, these cloud tops are going to get a lot higher because of that inbound energy. Boom. That'll be more intense, I believe, than what they're showing. And that says 10 a.m. Pacific. That's 1 p.m. probably for the East Coast. Noontime to 1 for this region here. There's the end of convection right here as it goes off the coast. All right, so this is going to blossom a little harder. So backwards, that's the noon. That's the morning. All right, I said convection. That was the morning right there. Morning, the noontime, the end of convection right there. This will probably blossom a little harder. This also, that means more snow, a lot more rain possible, okay? So this storm that doesn't look like much could turn into something and catch people off guard. And this is during the sundown of the 26th right there. Then we go into the nighttime hours. You see how this is all winding up? You see these millibars coming together? There's going to be a lot of wind. See on the backside all this wind back here and out front. So it's going to be a lot of wind. That's the morning time of the 27th with this severe weather off the coast. All right. When these events happen, and say the object that's coming with it travels by, it can make these slow down or push them faster. So this could be off the coast by this time on the 27th, or it could be kind of slowed up. We get these it kind of slows up the storms sometimes. So from right there, the nighttime of the 26th to the morning of the 27th, it looks like it's offshore, but it could still be hugging the coast a little bit there, I believe. So we'll watch closely, but here it's moving offshore. Still a lot of snow up in Canada, Maine, getting hit there. And then that's the end of convection, the 27th. And then the rest of the country is kind of clear. We have this small impulse hit here. New storm up there. All this starts to come together over the plains here. See how this moisture kind of creeps up in here? Then it hooks up with this low. We get snow on the backside, icing event right where they meet. And it's off to the races. Perfect comma shape. Almost looks like a 7. Boom. And you can see this low is winding up and grabbing moisture off of here into the tail. And we got severe chances for severe weather here at the noontime of December 1st here in Louisiana, Arkansas. Then it gets even more severe up into Tennessee, Mississippi. That's the end of convection right there, December 1st. Even kind of blossoming still into Alabama in the evening time of the December 1st. Then it dissipates into the morning. There's the noon, the end of convection there. Stuff coming off the coast, hitting the shoreline. Watch that on December 2nd. A little bit of icing up here in New York where this cold air mass meets moisture up there. Okay, so New York, let's back up a frame. Nope, not there. But here we go, upstate New York, just across into Canada right there. Down here, severe weather for Georgia, the coastline, the panhandle of Florida at the nighttime of December 2nd. So going from the end of convection, blossoming into the nighttime and spreading into Georgia possibly December 2nd. Going even into Louisiana again here by the morning of the 3rd, dissipating during the noon, convection. There's still some rain in the Ohio Valley there, the 3rd. That's the morning of the 4th, noon, convection, nighttime, the morning of the 5th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 6th, noon, convection. Look, it's offshore, but look how this band right here and this small low combined to make that monster right off the coast. These millibars are really, really tight. There's going to be a lot of wind off the coast there that could create high surf and problems with the, erosion. That looks like a pretty monstrous storm as it heads out to sea. Anybody out in the ocean could have problems with that sucker right there as it moves out. Little low dropping in possibly up there. Now this is so far out into the future and things are changing that it's kind of a waste of breath to keep. Gonna change. Alright, so there as we prepare for the spiritual report tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the solar activity or the solar report tonight. And yeah, let's just get back to this route. Oh man. Let's pop this open again. Yeah, it's even grown darker red here in the middle. So expect it might go purple, folks. And so far, this right here is going to have drastic results. All right. I pray it doesn't. We need to be very, very vigilant in our prayers now. You guys understand the only thing stopping this thing is believers and their. All right. That's the only thing that affects this in any way. So pray for everybody to take alerts. I'm sure there'll be a lot of channels out starting to give updates here. They might not know about the new inbound energy being absorbed, and you guys do, so spread the word to other people. Watch out for earthquakes coming. You guys know how to forecast this stuff. You watch me. It's just like watching Dutch. He teaches you how to do this. It's not too tough. It's really, really simple stuff, really, when you think about it. Anyways, here's our killer absorption event. Great. All right, so hope you enjoyed the spiritual report. Let's get back over to this image, and I did something different here tonight. This is the same image, but it's a different picture. This is image number 30 of 700. So this was frame 130, and I use this one because it shows the mountain in the background and gives you a perspective of how big this face in the sky really is. Okay, it gives you a little bit of an idea of the depth. You got to stand back 10 dimensions to see this, all right? Now, in this video, I ran it through a filter. We're going to let this video play real quick for you guys while I get my other stuff together. I think it's ready to play. Wait. And this is one of the best ones here of Jesus in the clouds with his crown and his thorn, or his crown hovering above his head up here. And if you turn your head to the right, you can make it out a little bit better. Well, now I found a way to clean it up, so now we're going to run it through a filter Now look at it. Now you can really see it. Turn your head to the right about 45 degrees. You can make out his face, his eyes, nose, his chin and his beard, his hair flowing back, and the crown above it. And let's do it one more time here. Let's enhance it even more. There we go. Now you can really clearly see it. Alright, so yeah, we'll leave it right there. So you can see it a little bit clearer, okay? This image is kind of faint in the clouds, and it's, kind of a stretch to see it, but when it's filtered, well, now it's a lot easier to see our Lord and Savior in the clouds as promised. You see wars, you see rumors of wars, you see earthquakes, floods, the oceans and the seas roaring, and now we have kingdom versus kingdom. Everybody, what did that mean? What does that mean? Well, I think we're all getting the gist of what it means now. It's the Muslim, jihad against the Christians. It's always been this holy war. And now that's the kingdom versus kingdom. Well, when you see these signs, you look up. It tells you, look up. You'll see me coming in the clouds with power and great authority. Well, that crown signifies power and great authority, right? All right, there we go. There's the best. I'm trying to get the wavy lines out of it, so we got a nice, pretty image right there to read by. All right, I think everybody can see that by now. If you can't, maybe you need glasses. All right, tilt your head to the right. I'm sure everybody here can see it. I'm just trying to give directions to people who might be seeing this for the first time. Alrighty, let me get some lighting going here. Do a quick reading for you guys. I can tell somebody out there is getting some peace from these readings, so that's why I'm continuing to do it, because there's a few of you out there that are getting something from this, that are getting peace from it and enjoying these readings. So I hope you enjoy these readings. All right. All around you. I entitled this All Around You because these signs and all these events are happening all around you. And most people don't even notice. They don't look up from their phones. They don't take their head out of the news or the gossip of the day. They have no clue that this is going on all around you. Okay? So, I am all around you, like a cocoon of light. My presence with you is a promise, independent of your awareness of me. Many things can block this awareness, but the major culprit is worry. My children tend to accept worry as an inescapable fact of life. However, worry is a form of unbelief. It is the anathema to me. Who is in charge of your life? If it is you, then you have good reason to worry. But if it isn't, then worry is both unnecessary and counterproductive. When you start to feel anxious about something, relinquish the situation to me. Back off a bit, redirecting your focus to me. I will either take care of the problem myself or show you how to handle it. In this world, you will have problems, but you need not lose sight of me. I want you to be all mine, filled with the light of my presence. I gave everything for you by living as a man, then dying for your sins and living again. Hold back nothing from me. Bring your most secret thoughts into the light of my love. Anything you bring to me, I transform and cleanse from the darkness. I know everything about you, far more than you know about yourself. But I restrain my yearning to fix you, waiting instead for you to come to me for help. Imagine the divine restraint this requires, for I have all the power in heaven and on earth. So seek my face with a teachable spirit and come into my presence with thanksgiving, desiring to be transformed. Um, Treasure me above all else. This will infuse joy into your heart and mind. It will also glorify me. To treasure something is to hold or keep it, esteeming it as precious. Precious. This image is precious. I am training you to hold secretly onto me, your Savior God and constant companion. Knowing that I never leave your side can increase your joy and peace immeasurably. Also, esteeming me as your precious Savior strengthens your desire to keep me in your sights and live according to my will. When, you're, when you prize me above all else, other things lose their grip on you. One way to discern what you hold dearest is to examine your thoughts when your mind is at rest. If you don't like what you find, do not despair. You can teach yourself to think about me more consistently. It's helpful to memorize scriptures, especially verses that draw you closer to me. Try putting reminders of my loving presence throughout your home and workplace, and remember to seek my help of my Spirit. He delights in pointing you back to me. I want you to know the depth and breadth of my love that surpasses knowledge. There is an enormous difference between knowing me and knowing about me. Similarly, experiencing my loving presence is vastly different from knowing facts about my character. Okay? I say again, experiencing my loving presence is vastly different from knowing the facts about my character. To experience my presence, you need the empowering work of my Spirit. Ask Him to strengthen you with power in your inner being so that you can know my love in full measure. Since the moment of your salvation, I have been alive in your heart. The more room you make for me there, the more I can fill you with my love. There are several ways to expand this space in your heart. It's crucial to take time with me, enjoying my presence, and studying my word. It is also vital to stay in communication with me. This joyful practice will keep you close to me. Finally, let my love flow through you to others in both your words and your actions. This makes my love in you complete. So, pretty simple stuff. When you love others, you're you're loving you're loving Jesus, right? It's you guys. If we could just all get along, wasn't Rodney King that said it best? Can't we all just get along? And those were some of the truest words from somebody who was beaten up by the LAPD and had every right to sue them to Kingdom Come. And he was the man who called for restraint and peace and for cooler heads to prevail. Okay, you can see what the media is doing. They're playing mind games with you guys. All right, you guys see the signs happening all around you. You know what's going on better than the rest of the public. Okay, you're very fortunate here at this channel to, you know, have these beautiful images like this and access to some of this knowledge so you'll know how to prepare yourself for what's coming. Okay? Everything's a spiritual battle. You're being tested spiritually every day. And there's opportunities every day, and sometimes you don't see them and you pass them by, and other days you see the opportunity and you help somebody and it makes their day, and now you've won a crown. You know, you've done a good deed. You get a crown. And how many crowns are you going to collect before the finish line? You know, how many people are you going to help on the way here and try to, guide them in the right direction? Guide them to the Father. Show them love and peace and understanding and, acceptance, and show tolerance and forgiveness. This ride's going to get rough and it's going to get bumpy, and they're only going to try to make it even worse on you. So don't let that happen. Use this. That's why I keep putting it up here every night. Use this. This is a foundation on which to build strong faith, all right? Faith to the point of knowing now, all right? You see the other signs I've shown you on this channel from, the Revelation 12 sign on September 10th, right before the star alignment. All of these signs on this channel are all evidence that we're in the end times. And as spiritual warriors, you guys get out there. Your prayers mean more than you think. You can shout down these people in power and take them out. They are not worthy of being in control. The children of God are. Okay? And pretty soon their world's going to come crashing down and you guys are going to have freedom again. Okay? So, hang on tight. Things are getting bumpy, and you can see that these instruments are going to come in handy as well. As we get deeper into this, you come over here to this instrument and check this out. Your day's going to go. You come over here and check out, oh shoot, we're having an event. Oh, the magnetic field's down. Maybe I won't go out today in the midday sun at the highest point of the day with, no or protection on, no sunscreen. That would be the worst. But over here, make sure everything's going nice and smooth. Okay, these are the tools to use to check on that stuff. Just like checking the weather before you go out that day. Am I going to need an umbrella? Am I going to need a tinfoil hat that day or what, A tinfoil bodysuit. I'd be surprised if those start selling here soon. But unfortunately, we're taking it on the chin right now. Everybody pray. It's about to get intense here in this next few days. And we'll watch the earthquakes really close because this is a little things to come. This was before we had this inbound energy. And it's going to bump up the magnitude a little bit more. Chat here and say thanks to Drop. Man, you've been a friend of mine for a long time. Thank you, and thank you for bringing people here too as well. Heaven is real though. I don't believe I know. Exactly, left heaven because the Father sent me here. No kidding. I love you guys. I thank you for being here, sir. Thank you for spending your time here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this and learning something. It's not really for entertainment. I'm trying to kind of help you guys understand what's going on so you can be prepared. Kung Fu Grasshopper. Yes, we have a Kung Fu Grasshopper. Yeah. All right. Northern Lights are out there in Alaska. Yeah. Don Burge, thank you. The Kung Fu, thank you, Neil. I wonder if, even though they weren't going to use the HAARP for earthquakes because you can't stop them, they're doing it anyways. You don't worry about HAARP, you guys. HAARP is not what's causing a lot of our problems. HAARP really never had too much of an effect. They still use it for heating the ionosphere for weather manipulation, but it's not your culprit that you think it is. And those are just the ones that they're letting us see. But you don't touch sense, Brian. I like touch sense. He's a good guy. I follow him, and I feel sorry for him and his dilemma. I have been through that dilemma myself, so I can relate. It's very, very frustrating as a creator to not have a connection to your audience. So I feel his frustration, and I'm not trying to steal his thunder. I feel the need to kind of step up. There's fill a gap that needs filling in reporting on this and help you guys understand a little deeper how all this works and how our earthquakes work. You see that I agree with him on a lot of things and how this system does work. this system of fault lines all connecting together, how the pressure from down below, these deep cracks. I agree with him on a lot of this stuff. We just have different little ways of looking at it is all, okay? But I try to do my best to give you a thorough report so you'll understand and know what to expect. And some things we get right, like this one. Not everything pans out perfectly. That's why I try not to predict them. I just try to explain how it happens, and then that way, when we see our results, it's like uh, a chemistry experiment. You do an experiment to see results. All right, so here we're seeing our results, unfortunately. And now this thing just updated again, and this red's getting bigger and darker, shifting more this way now, but a, kind of a long duration absorption event too. So that's even going to translate to more energy down below coming up to the surface here in the near future. Okay, so everybody hold on. Don't be surprised to see 7 to a magnitude 8 quake in this region. Okay, we might possibly get a tsunami from that could have effects on the other side of the world. So be on alert now, especially people on the coasts or on islands. Okay, stay alert to what's going on. If you hear an earthquake or something that went off in this region, go check to see if there's a tsunami alert, because this one did have an advisory. All right, and we'll start using the buoy map too. I'll include that in the report if there's anything. There were 3 buoys that were moving, but apparently no tsunami reported. So we're not going to use it tonight. But if we have an event here in the next few hours, whatever, before, I might have to pop on here and do an emergency broadcast and let you know we've had an event. There's possible tsunami, blah, 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 whatever the scenario case might be. Okay. We can all pray really hard right now. Lord, please have mercy on these folks. I see what you're doing. I see what's coming. Take it easy on us over here. Have mercy on these folks over here. Watch out. All these people are about to get awakening here soon too, because you see how naked this is. All that energy, as it travels up, this is all going to fill in. We might see a big quake off of Sumatra. This is known for big quakes too. So, boy, that's another reminder too. When we have this upwelling of pressure from down below, from this, that increases the magnitude of earthquakes, right? It I was gonna say, dang it. It might also contribute to larger quakes in other regions that aren't used to large quakes, because there's more swelling down below that region as well, because the swelling comes from underneath out all directions, and these are the weak points. These fracture lines is where the shell of the egg has cracked, right? We overcooked the egg, and now you peel the shell off an egg, a hard-boiled egg. Well, here's the cracks running in it. Brian, have you ever noticed that Africa doesn't have a shallow reef that extends? Um, uh, Not much. Right. Well, let's take a peek. Yeah, tiny little bits here and there, but nothing like we see on other continents. You're right. Maybe a little bit up in here, but that's because of the Mediterranean. You're correct. You can see all the shelf work over here in Great Britain and everything over here on this side as well. But yeah. And another factor here is going to be this mid-Atlantic ridge. When this swelling comes up, this is the zipper on the earth right here, all right? This is where things move this way from that line, or this way from this side of the line, and that direction from this thing. So everything's expanding outward from this crack. We're going to see more lava come up through here and watch out for underwater volcanic activity, possibly here in the Atlantic as well. All right, that's what this swelling underneath the surface can do. What else? What else? Are we done, Lord? No, he says come back over to this. All right, so it's all because we're in the end times here. Okay, our sun has drastic effects now on our weather, earthquakes, volcanoes. You guys see why? You understand why? And the reason for the earth, for all the activity on the sun that's causing the activity on the earth, is because of this. That's the reason for all the activity on the sun. Okay, so you're starting to put the puzzle together. Pieces start to fall in line. You see a picture starting to come together here. It's like a dot to dot. You can't see the whole. You can't see the hidden picture. All you see is the little dots. And as you connect lines, you start to see, oh, this is going to be part of this, and then more lines get connected, more dots get connected, and lines get filled in, and pretty soon you got a pretty good image of what this picture is going to be. And then as you finally connect the final dots, you get a clear image of a hidden picture that you couldn't see before by simply connecting the dots. And that's what this is too. You're going to be connecting some dots here to see a hidden picture just like this. Okay. All right, that's it for tonight, I believe. Yeah, that was all the reading, I guess. Reports, yeah. Oh, no. There was one other thing. I wanted to come back to this beautiful little intro here. I'm so happy that we're getting data back on this thing because of what was captured here, I think it was, on the 20th. Let's let this load up real quick. Yeah, this is it right there. Our latest, oh wait, we gotta let this load up. Our latest great capture here is this event. This is just, again, signs in the sun. Here, let me speed it up. Come on, computer, go. All right, can you see our little UFO getting knocked out of place there? Well, you can't when it stops like that. There we go. All right, that was just a few days ago, okay? And already we've all moved on. Forgot about it already, kind of. Well, here's this event that just happened, 4 days ago, 5 days ago now? And that's a pretty good sized ship. I'm telling you. How close it is to the sun. You see how instant, reaction from the CME? That means it's not very far away from the surface of the sun. And if it's that big and it's that close to the sun being, oh, we can't. Here, take a mental image of the size of that ring and then compare it to the size of that ring, that white ring. That's how big the sun is, and that's like half the size, maybe? What would you say? Maybe a third. I don't want to over-exaggerate. You could probably fit 3 of those inside that white circle, maybe. Understand what that means? That thing's bigger than the Earth. Yeah, that thing's bigger than the Earth, and that thing's bigger than the Earth. Okay, we got a lot of things that are bigger than Earth going on right now, all right? These are all spiritual events that were promised in the Bible, all right? And you're seeing it will unfold, just like you said, all right? Apparently, he's back. Nobody recognized who he was, that he's back, and now it has to unfold via catastrophes, via the story of the Bible, to prove he says who he is, and you'll see everything unfold exactly as foretold. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true right here on Easter. That should floor you. That should keep you up at night, or maybe help you sleep better at night. Okay? This is a real event, you guys. I took probably 600 pictures of this over the course of an hour until I basically dropped and almost had a heart attack because I lost all the blood and feeling in my arms. But I knew there was something going on in the clouds there, and I had to capture it as much as I could, and I'm glad I did, because now I got these beautiful images to bring you, and video too. We stacked these on top of each other and made video out of it, okay? So, rest assured, this is all real. It's all coming true. Your prayers have power. Believe and receive. Be thankful. Tell him thank you for your sacrifice. And he's more willing to help you in your prayers and deliver for you. He has delivered me so many times in my life, I cannot even count how many times I have been delivered from the jaws of evil. It's basically, looking back, when I look at it, I didn't know it at the time, but it was the jaws of evil that I got delivered from over and over and over and over again. And I'm still here. I'm still alive, kicking, and doing this show about this. Obviously, he got me on a mission. So I'm going to keep pushing that mission and keep helping you guys understand. And we'll get you guys to a place of peace and encourage, confidence. You'll be a true son of God by the time this is all over. Alrighty? That's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next video, I'll be back.